like rocket fuel.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Brissett to throw on first. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards him.
Cook strip, the ball's out, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Anything to make of this or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a 3rd.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight. All the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
On 2nd down, Johnson. He finds an opening past the 40 and finally marked down at the 42-yard line. 31 yards there and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Brissett. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down.
Mike's 50. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
First down, Brissett. He's going to sling this deep down. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
On second down, Cook. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally brought down at the 43. A gain there of 30 big ones. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jared Davis charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Check.
Back to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him. And what I mean by that is what you said. 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs lived for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. On 3rd down, Brissett. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoff.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. On 2nd and 9, Brissett. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Hey, watch this, watch this. It's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, come on, no, come on.
Out of the gun, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. They come up here now 1st down. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6. Going deep for Diggs. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. 39 yards there, a big one. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They're looking at a first, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Flush to his right. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
The Vikings come on now, let's go.
At the Lions' 45-yard line.
Ready. 90 Wolf.
Number 53, Mike 53.
Hey, high 7. Ready.
They'll come out throwing here on first down, eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but it'll be second down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd and 4. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action.
Check 37.
You're out. Speak grip.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Set. 10 Lobo.
Mike.
Hey, Delta. Good.
Back to throw. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
And it's third down.
Here we go. Hey, seam 6.
53. I'm here all day.
They'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll make the score 14-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He's got a man complete. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 82 yards as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, a full half to be played.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Watch the pass.
2nd and 10. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken near the 13. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt.
He's got daylight. He's at the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
1st down, Minnesota.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
They're going to look to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
And this one complete to Smith.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll run with Cook, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Brissett sets to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a run with Cook. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Set. 18 Gator. 3. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Throwing, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. This is taken at the 23. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 1st down, Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They'll set up a throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14.
Makes the score, Vikings 28, Lions 14.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Check 99. Slam, slam, slam.
Brissett to throw for it on 4th. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set them up 1st and goal. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification. That's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. But you say 3 rushing touchdowns and, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Again, it's Johnson. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Brissett on 4th down. And this is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Set up, 18 Gator, recon, 132 fighter.
Double time. 4 down. Alert.
5.
And they will take a knee here.
The quarterback on the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 4th down.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it.
65. 65.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for Minnesota, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday at noon Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.